launched on February 15, 2012 in the US, and shortly after in Europe. PS Vita was Sony's second foray into handheld gaming following the massive success of the PSP, which sold over 80 million units worldwide. Marketed as a home console on the go, the Vita boasted cutting-edge features including a stunning 5-inch OLED touchscreen and dual analog sticks, unprecedented for a portable device at the time. Sony kicked off the Vita's lifecycle with a lineup of heavy-hitting franchises, headlined by Uncharted Golden Abyss, a visually impressive spin-off from the Bend studio that showcased the handheld's unique features, from the rear touchpad to motion controls. Other launch titles like Mod Nation Racers and Super Stardust Delta also helped highlight the system's potential, making it clear that Sony was aiming for a premium handheld experience. The PS Vita has earned its place as a cult classic among PlayStation fans. With its sleek design and stunning display, it served as the perfect home for an impressive lineup of games. In this video, we'll be diving into some of the best PS Vita games that are still worth playing today. Whether you've been a fan since day one or you're just now exploring this underrated handheld, these standout titles showcase the very best of what the PS Vita has to offer. My name is Robles Jr. and I'm passionate about covering homebrew guides here on YouTube. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing. I also share news, updates, guides, and unboxings for gaming consoles like the PSP and PS Vita. I also stream weekly where I hang out with my community and host live Q&A sessions covering everything from console mods and homebrew to personal life struggles and beyond. Hitman Go cleverly reimagines IO Interactive's stealth action formula, transforming it into a sleek, turn-based puzzle experience, featuring a stylish tilt-shift art design that makes Agent 47 and his targets look like pieces on a game board. Each level challenges you to outmaneuver enemies with careful strategy. It's a minimalist yet deeply engaging puzzle game, offering that irresistible just one more try appeal, perfect for quick, tactical gameplay on the go. Unit 13 was a Super Interactive's ambitious effort to distill SOCOM's tactical combat into bite-sized, action-packed missions perfect for the PS Vita. Designed for a quick 5 to 10 minute sessions, whether solo or in co-op, it struck a balance between console-quality gameplay and on-the-go accessibility. Despite its strong design, the game struggled commercially, marking an unfortunate end for the studio. Still, Unit 13 delivered a solid strategic shooter experience that deserved far more recognition than it received.
Explosive diffused.
Losing Monster Hunter to Nintendo was a major blow to the PS Vita. The co-op juggernaut had been instrumental in the PSP's success in Japan, leaving a massive void in the Vita's library. In response, Sony sought to fill the gap with Soul Sacrifice, a dark fantasy action RPG that emphasized teamwork, high-stakes battles, and brutal decision-making. The game was a bold and well-executed attempt to carve out its own niche, earning enough acclaim to warrant an enhanced re-release, Soul Sacrifice Delta. In its quest to find a Monster Hunter alternative, Sony threw a variety of ideas at the wall, and Freedom Wars became one of the most ambitious efforts. With a massive marketing push, it's surprising that the game only received a single installment. This anime-inspired co-op shooter put players in the shoes of a prisoner, tasked with completing dangerous quests to reduce their sentence. The gameplay was top-notch, featuring third-person shooting, dynamic grappling mechanics, and cooperative attack strategies that made for a thrilling combat. Despite becoming one of the best-selling PS Vita games in Japan, Sony eventually ended first-party development for the Vita, and Freedom Wars was never ported to the PS4. Originally debuting on the PS3 before making its way to the PS Vita, the Unfinished Swan is a brainchild of Giant Sparrow, a developer nurtured by Santa Monica Studio, the same team behind later masterpieces like What Remains of Edith Finch. This unique walking simulator invites players into a world where they must navigate an invisible environment, using paint to reveal hidden details and unravel the mysteries around them. While some elements may feel a bit uneven with time, the game's creativity and bold ideas still leave a lasting impression today.
Response, the king outlawed all non-magical brushes and pledged to spend the next month painting shadows for his kingdom.
Whoa.
So how do you make a game about geometric shapes emotionally resonant and meaningful? Thomas Was Alone might not have all the answers, but it certainly pushes the boundaries of the puzzle platformer genre. Despite its simple premise, it gives life and personality to its minimalist shapes, creating a surprisingly deep experience. Like many great indie titles, it's perfectly suited for on-the-go play, offering a unique and memorable journey that sticks with you long after you put it down.
Something about the boiling, toxic, glowing water intimidated Thomas. He didn't like it. He certainly didn't want to swim.
MotorStorm was one of the standout new franchises Sony launched during the PS3 era, known for its over-the-top racing action, but its radio-controlled spin-off MotorStorm RC was just as impressive. Inspired by classics like Micro Machines, this miniature racer featured quick restarts and slick, slippery handling. It was a blast to play on the PS Vita with sharp visuals and some clever online features that made it incredibly addictive as you competed with friends for the best times and scores. While it wasn't the full MotorStorm experience fans hoped for, after the PSP's Arctic Edge, we'd argue it was an even better fit for the handheld. Much like Bastion, Fez became one of the defining games of the Xbox Live Arcade era. At first glance, it seemed like a straightforward puzzle platformer, but players soon discovered it hid far more than meets the eye. Designed with elements of ARG, the original release of this colorful adventure became one of the most iconic moments in modern gaming, as fans across the globe collaborated to uncover its many secrets. While those mysteries were solved by the time it made its way to the PS Vita, the brilliance of this game is still evident, making it a standout title. Before Journey captured the world's heart, that game company made a name for itself with Flower, a short yet impactful experience focused on the environment and humanity's connection to it. The game never feels heavy-handed or overlong, offering a quiet, meditative journey instead. While the PS Vita port might not pack the same visual punch as the original on a large HD screen, it remains a must-play for its serene atmosphere and unique storytelling. Sony marketed the PS Vita as a handheld console you could take anywhere, but it struggled to gain the same level of third-party support as the PSP. Among the few successful home console ports, Need for Speed Most Wanted stood out. Criterion managed to squeeze its full open-world racer onto the handheld, and while the visuals were naturally scaled back compared to the PS3 version, it still delivered one of the best racing experiences on the Vita, right alongside Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. And that wraps up our look at some of the standout games for the PS Vita. From the strategic challenges of Unit 13 to the innovative storytelling of the Unfinished Swan, the handheld was home to a diverse library that proved it was more than just a portable PlayStation console. Titles like Soul Sacrifice and Freedom Wars showed Sony's effort to fill the gap left by Monster Hunter, while MotorStorm RC brought the thrill of racing into a compact, miniaturized format. Indie gems like Thomas Was Alone and Flower gave introspective experiences, proving that small-scale games could pack a big punch. And of course, classics like Need for Speed Most Wanted showed that even console-level racing could make the leap to the Vita. Whether you're a longtime fan or just diving into the PS Vita library for the first time, these titles are definitely worth checking out. The Vita may not have had the commercial success it deserved, but it remains a cult classic with a ton of hidden gems. Thanks for joining me in revisiting this incredible handheld, and be sure to check out these amazing games no matter where you are. Happy gaming.